everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of Thoughts in Education. Today we have Mr. Professor Ashok Yastiki, Principal of Bhavan's Vivekanand College of Science, Humanities and Commerce. Thank you so much, sir, taking out time to do with us. I take the opportunity to welcome you and have your thoughts, understand about your thoughts, and let the students out there know more about you and your institute. Before we start with the rounds of questions, I would like you to give us a chance to know more about your institute and about you. A small brief introduction about you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Rishika, and best wishes to College Dunia. And we hope for a purposeful and strong collaboration with College Dunia. Bhavan's Vivekananda College started in 1993 with a small strength of about 130 students and about 12 faculty members. And as you are aware, it has grown in size in terms of students, in terms of programs, in terms of faculty, in terms of achievements. Last 27 years, we have become a force to reckon with in India as well as Hyderabad. And the testimony of our achievements is we have been graded by NAAC with A grade, which we are continuing with. And we are also among the top 200 colleges in the country by National Institutional Ranking Framework, NIRF, and even Education World, a magazine which ranks the institutions, have ranked us as 47th college in the country among all autonomous colleges, which are more than 1,000. And coming to the management of the college, we are part of the giant conglomerate, Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, a very reputed organization which is working for preservation of Indian culture and heritage. And the purpose of the objective of the organization is to spread this message through education. So we have almost more than 300 institutions across the country and also few abroad. So it is managed by Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan Mumbai. Locally, it is managed by Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan Sainik Puri Kendra, which has 4 institutions: a school, Bhavan Sri Ramakrishna Vidyalaya, a junior college, Bhavan Sri Aurobindo Junior College, a hospital, Sharda Devi Hospital at Sainik Puri, and we are the another institution which we are talking about, Bhavan Vivekananda College of Science, Humanities and Commerce, which has become autonomous in the year 2015-16. So from the inception, the college has very good results and very good achievements, and our students are visible in all walks of life in very higher echelons of various organizations. For example, HDFC, one of the vice presidents is our student. ICICI, one of the vice president is our student. Gagan Naran, an alumni, is an Olympian and also bronze medalist in the London Olympics. Ambati Rayudu, Anirban Lahiri is an international golfer, and there are several scientists who are working in USA. In defense services also, we have a visible presence. Every year there are a few students getting into defense services as officers. So fortunately, we are doing well thanks to the support of the management and strong support from all the faculty, talented faculty. And one of the rare privilege which we enjoy is we have almost 40 doctorates in our college. Maybe, I don't know. I feel we have the largest number of doctorates for any college in Telangana. So that speaks of the quality of the faculty in the college. So this is about the institution, Rashika, and we have programs in all faculties. In science, physical sciences, we have 4 programs, and we have launched a new program this year, Honors with Data Science, BSc Honors with Data Science. And BSc Life Sciences, we have 4 programs, including a new program launched this year in nutrition. And BCom, we have 4 programs. Commerce, we have 4 programs. And that includes a new program launched last year, BCom Honors with Business Analytics. And we have 5 PG programs, BBA, BCA, BA, and also We have PhD programs in biochemistry and PhD in microbiology also. So almost our campus is like a student who joins in KG class can continue up to PhD also if they desire to continue. So there are a lot of students who did their KG class and who are working as lecturers, who studied their degree, who studied their schooling, everything, and now they are working as lecturers in the college.
So that's
about the college, Rishika.
So that's really good to know about the college, about the institute. I congratulate all the students who already have passed out and who have got the opportunity to study in the college. Having such a strong alumni will definitely help them to achieve greater heights in their career. So moving ahead, I would like to start with the rounds of questions. For me, it's very exciting to know, as I believe you already have spent quite a good time in the education industry. So I would like to understand from you, what are the key factors that keep you connected with the education sector?
Key factors are, we have to be live to what is happening in the education sector, and a lot of dynamic changes have come up in the last 10 years in the education sector. In terms of difference in programs, earlier education was limited only to fields, especially higher education in traditional mold, was limited to physical sciences and life sciences and commerce and maybe humanities. Now in every field, new courses are coming up. Just as I told you, keeping abreast with the changes which are coming up, we started 4 new programs in the last 3 years. One is mass communication with economics, and another one is BCom honors with business analytics, BSc honors with data science, and also BSc with nutrition, microbiology, and chemistry. So most important is, since worldwide there is a lot of fast-paced changes in education, there is no choice. Educational institutions have to catch up with the pace.
Sure, sir.
So what we are trying is, our strength is our faculty. We are live to the changes which are happening.
Yes, sir, you very correctly mentioned. I believe now even the job environment or the world outside has become very dynamic because of the technology, how so in such a fast pace it gets evolved. So our education has to be according to that. That is why the dynamic, the education industry also have become very dynamic down the line in 5, 6, 10 years, the new courses are coming in according to the requirements in the industry. So I really feel good that according to the demands, the students are getting groomed and equipped according to the things which are required in the outside world. So moving ahead, I would also like to understand from you, as you hold such a key position at your institute, what is your philosophy of leadership and how would you describe your leadership style?
My philosophy of leadership, Rishika, is more democratic in approach. So I would like to seek suggestions from all my core team, because a group of heads are always better than one head. Maybe we have our own ideas, but once we listen to our core team, definitely they may also have a lot of things in mind. And regular interaction with the faculty is very important. And unless and until it is an interactive approach, no institution can survive for long. One person taking decisions and thrusting down the line will not yield results. Definitely, it's a teamwork. So I strongly believe in teamwork. No individual can do anything. And I also strongly believe, I am a cricket player also, because once Sunil Gavaskar used to tell that a captain is as good as the team. The other way, sorry. A captain is as good as the team. So we have a very strong team who are rich with talent and also commitment. That's the key for our success. And moreover, we have a lot of suggestions and support from the management with whom we have a regular interaction. So these two factors make a lot of difference. Of course, the students who are joining the college also are very proactive. And as I told you, you can see them in every walk of life. Their presence is visible.
Yes, sir. So leadership, I would say, is more about we rather about me. So if it's a strong team, if everyone's idea is welcome and entertained, it's about a teamwork basically. So I would also like to understand from you, sir, as Bhavans happens to be a great institute with such a number of colleges. So how does the whole management strategize about the key programs and plans for the marketing and administration of your schools?
There we are very, very traditional in our approach, Rashika. Our management style and also our leadership style hasn't changed. As far as the marketing is concerned, I interacted with you already. I told that is we basically depend on our brand ambassadors who are students. So it's just word to mouth publicity. And Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan is a well-known organization all over the country. So when the students come to college, they don't have to look for basic thing, anything first. They look at the brand, Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan. Lot of students and lot of parents, once they see the name of Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, they immediately know it has its own unique quality. So marketing wise, we don't do much elaborate marketing. Our marketing is our brand image, which is built over a period of more than 75 years. And most important is our brand ambassadors coming from more than 300 institutions, that is our students.
Okay, so there will be a lot of students who would be visiting our website and would be knowing more about Bhavans and the Bhavan Institute. So, sir, I would like to know any insights into how your institute could be more welcoming to students of different races or economic backgrounds.
Yeah, generally now higher education is becoming more and more costlier, especially when the government institutions are few in number comparatively, maybe about 15-20 years ago. So naturally, even the underprivileged section also look for private institutions. And I see so many poor parents who aspire that their children become something in life. And they make so much sacrifices that they go to any extent. They work hard, they compromise on their quality of living, but they are planning to educate their children. I see a lot of parents like that. So to support this, what we are doing is we have a lot of scholarships offered by the college to underprivileged people, undergraduate as well as postgraduate. In addition, we get scholarship from the government also, as per the reservation policy and as per the policy of the government. So underprivileged children also are not deprived of studying, their willingness to study in a quality institution. So we support in the form of scholarships, and there are a lot of philanthropists and volunteers who want to help people. So whenever we approach them, they are forthcoming, and what we have a scholarship committee. So the committee will be plays a facilitating role between the students who want a scholarship and the parents or alumni and philanthropists who want to give the scholarships. So likewise, what we are doing is we are trying to strengthen a scholarship committee system, which can help more and more students benefit from the financial help provided by various agencies. Because I totally agree, since it's a costly business nowadays to get educated, definitely the underprivileged needs a lot of support from society, government, and the concerned institutions.
Yes, so that's really good to know. I mean, there are so many talented, I would say not that privileged to go to schools or go to institute, but then the institutes like you or the initiatives by the government is definitely helping such students, and they are definitely would go ahead and build a better nation and a developed nation. So I hope you will agree with me that there are a lot of responsibilities which the students have towards the institute. And then there are certain responsibilities or the duties which the institutes have towards the students. So, according to you, sir, what are those responsibilities which you think the institute have towards the students?
Let me tell you about our vision, Rashika. Vision of the college is youth empowerment with culture, knowledge, and strength of body and mind. After a lot of thought, when the college started, we evolved this vision, and we are truly living to the expectations of the vision. First of all, the primary duty of the college is to provide quality education. But education by itself is not everything. Education with moral values, education with good mind, and also physical strength is also important. A person should be an all-rounder. He should be well educated, physically strong, mentally agile, and also strong. So keeping this in mind, we give a lot of importance to, of course, the primary importance is towards providing quality education. But subsequently, in addition, we have a lot of programs being organized for the students. For example, on the cultural front, we have a program Bhavanotsav, which is a very big event held by the college every year for all the colleges in Twin Cities. And we do a lot of seminars, national as well as international seminars every year. Not less than 7 to 8 seminars are done by various departments in the college. And sports, let me tell you, we are the sports champions of Usmania University for the last 14 years, Rashika. In the boys category, we are the champions, overall champions for the past 14 years. And very good sportsmen have passed out from our portals. And in the academic front, I have already mentioned, there are a lot of scientists, vice president, in corporate sector, there are a lot of students. Rather, I would like to quote one small experience. 3 years ago, I had a leadership meeting at Deloitte. So I went there. I was surprised that I found 30 of my students waiting there to receive me. So that was a pride for me. It's a privilege for the institution. So the Deloitte, whenever we go there, they say almost it's like mini bhavans here.
Yeah.
So many students are working in that organization. That is only one experience with one company. But wherever we go, we find a lot of our students meeting us whenever we go for meetings with the companies, etc. Here, one proof of the pudding about the education is our placements, Rashika. I should tell you, almost 400 to 500 students get placed every year. We have a very strong career guidance and placement cell. One is to provide placements, and another one is to guide them in the right direction. Different people may have different aspirations. So the CGPC, that is Career Guidance and Placement Cell, conducts a lot of programs to educate the students on the opportunities that they have. Okay, that is the responsibility of the college towards the students, Rashika. And students should definitely respond to the call given by the institutions, because one biggest concern for the whole world, and especially I see around Hyderabad and also India, is dilution in the value system. So that's a serious concern. So a lot of stress need to be laid on moral education also along with the academic education. So that's very important, and fortunately, we try to conduct a lot of programs for students also to nurture them in their direction. We hold programs every year in association with Ramakrishna Math, Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence. We are a franchisee of Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence. And in collaboration with them, we do a lot of programs. Not only that, every year there are at least not less than 100 extension lectures given by people from different walks of life on moral education, on academic field, science, commerce, everything, Rashika. And students, fortunately, are responding very well. And let me tell you, one unique feature is we have a prayer in the morning. college prayer. It's a congregation which helps us. One is to assemble and disseminate the college information. And in the prayer, we have the system of facilitating the students for their achievements. So they feel very happy, whatever they won outside the college are again being acknowledged in the college assembly, so that all the students know about everyone's achievements. So students are very responsible, and I'm happy they are responding to the calls given by the college on the educational front, sports, co-curricular, and also the value education.
So that's, it's an amazing journey, I would say. That's really, I'm really glad to know about the students who have passed out. I can feel it, how overwhelming or how proud feeling you must have while you see your, students succeeding so much in their life. That's really good to know, sir. I'm really glad.
Thank you.
So moving ahead, I would also like to understand from you, India faces a lot of challenges when it comes to higher education. There are a lot of challenges. So I would like to understand from you, what is your viewpoint on that in general? And what exactly, is there any challenges which exclusively Bhavans Vivekanand College faces?
True. In the dynamic education system nowadays, Rashika, definitely there are umpteen number of challenges which we have to face. See, first challenge is there is a lot of stiff competition among educational institutions, which was not the case because earlier education field was in the hands of the government. There were a lot of government colleges and aided colleges. But now due to privatization, education also has become a business. So due to competition, unless it's a simple economic principles, survival of the fittest. So there what happens is, first of all, you have to make your presence felt in the market. And for that, we start with a limitation of not advertising. But fortunately, it did not deter us from having good quality of students. That is thanks to our brand ambassadors in the form of alumni. Then another biggest challenge is declining quality of education from school to intermediate also. I have been observing the quality of intake, which was about 25 years ago when I joined the college, is not the same as quality of intake now. So here what has happened is, though the marks of the students are touching hundreds, 95s, 90s, but compared to quality is not the same. There are exceptions, of course, but that's a big challenge because in terms of going by marks, the student tends to be very, very highly acclaimed or intelligent. But going by the knowledge, it's not a fault of the students. Maybe it's our education system also needs to change, where the focus should shift from marks to learning.
True, sir.
The focus was on learning earlier, but now subsequently after last 10-15 years, it has shifted to marks. So that is the biggest challenge we are facing, because in case of sciences, we see a lot of people who don't know the basics of the apparatus which are used in the lab. Maybe that is because they have never saw an apparatus or they have never used an apparatus. So there, normally we presume in degree, when we are starting, the student is thought to be knowing basics and we have to start at a certain level. But here we are starting from the scratch. That is a big challenge.
Yes, sir.
And another is, as I told you, the another basic big challenge is students also are very learned nowadays. Learned in the sense, their awareness levels are very, very high. Thanks to internet, thanks to Google. So any information that teacher is giving in the class, the student might already know. So the great challenge lies is the teacher should have to keep up with the pace of learning along with the students.
Yes, sir.
See, if we are teaching the same what we have done about 25 years ago, what we know, a lot of changes have come. But student may be aware. If the teacher is not aware, then it becomes very, very difficult for the teacher to be in the class. So that is another big challenge which the teachers will face, because anything that you utter, the student can just click a mobile phone and try to understand what it is. So that is another big challenge. And institutionally, the another great challenge is to balance between, especially this problem arises in degree, the fee structure and the quality of education. There are a lot of restrictions on the fee structure that we have to charge. So naturally what happens is, if the fee structure is very high, then it may be a limiting factor for the institutions. And at the same time, if the fee structure is not high, then providing good facilities and good education may become difficult. So there needs to be compromises, but fortunately, we are comfortable in balancing both the things, and we are able to do very well, Rashika.
Yes, sir. Definitely, sir, internet and this digitalized world has made things easy, but maybe so many might not agree with me, but today's students, I'll also count myself, but today we lack that hustle attitude because we have everything available with a click. I mean, like earlier I used to see, I mean, like while I was in my school, or earlier maybe people had more hunger for learning because they had to go to the libraries, find books, learn. But today, when it is easily available, the importance has, deteriorated, I would say. So that is one thing I believe internet has given us a lot of advantages, but then students somewhere is, have lacked that hustle attitude because it's easily available. Everything is easily available. So importance have somewhere reduced.
Very true.
So moving ahead, my last question to you would be: is there anything which you think the people or the students outside may not know about Bhavans, and you would like people to know about it?
Yes, Rashika. Still, in Hyderabad, we have parents and students with word to mouth publicity. They may come to college and see, and they'll be in a state of shock. Because we have an excellent campus with 50 acres of land and ample space, reading space, canteen, everything. Recently, one very big academician visited the college, and he commented that it is like a mini university. Because of the ambience, he made that comment. So if the students are only looking for a job, then they are making a big mistake. If the focus is on learning, then automatically, whether you want a job, whether you want to go for higher studies, whether you want to become an entrepreneur, anything is possible. So Bhavans focuses on learning process, and along with the learning process, we are also focusing on personality development of the student, which is very, very vital and important. And many parents who join their children in Bhavans, one of the strong factors which motivates them to join their children is the value education. So if somebody doesn't know Bhavans, they should come and experience the atmosphere here. They should come and meet the teachers. They should come and meet the principal. They should visit the website. Definitely, they are going to miss a wonderful experience of not being in Bhavans.
So I'll totally agree with it. I'll definitely agree. So coming to an end of an interview, I would request you to give a small short message to the current youth or the aspiring students out there.
Okay. See here, my short message will be, they should be academically strong, and most important is they should be smart. That matters a lot because now, not just having a degree, but along with the degree, how you present yourself, how you put forward your point, how is your attitude, how is your personality, all that matters, Rishika. So, along with being academically strong, that is primarily required, that no doubt about it. But along with this, they should be smart in terms of everything. They should be able to present themselves well, and of course, they should have the value system very strong. In this context, I just would like to quote about 7-8 years ago, vice president of a very big company visited the college as a guest of honor for the annual day. His message was just for a minute. He didn't speak anything. So he just addressed the crowd and told, I only want to convey one message, that your behavior when somebody is observing you is not so important. Then your behavior when nobody is observing you is more important. So that's how the student should be. So they should be strong in academics and also strong in value system, and they should be able to present themselves well. That matters everything.
Thank you so much, sir. It was really, really amazing to have a great conversation with you. I firmly believe this conversation of ours will definitely help out the students out there to know more about Bhavans and its vision. I take the opportunity. Thank you so much, sir, and taking out time to do this with us. Have a great day, sir.
Thank you, Rashika, and all the best to College Dunia, and hope we have a very purposeful journey in the future also.